Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now June 13th of 2025, and given that the whole Meghan Markle situation has been getting out of control, not just over at Netflix, but also at other studios ever since she posted that viral video, that pregnancy video, that really backfired not just on whatever was left of her image, or even, of course, what she actually likes to pretend herself as some form of an actress, as some kind of a personality, whatever it may be. We already know that Meghan Markle is desperately clinging to whatever opportunity arises to stay in the limelight, to stay in the spotlight as, of course, a so-called actress. That's basically what she's trying to do. Now, we already know that many studios are beginning to really find her very repulsive based on her behavior, not just in the public eye, but also within Netflix, alright? Now, what's interesting here has a lot more to do with the entire Meghan Markle firings situation and exactly what's going on there ever since the viral video post really went viral across not just social media, but also within the corporate ladder of multiple Hollywood studios, including Netflix. So let's get into all of this. Now, what's interesting about all of this is that we already know that Meghan Markle is actually trying to do whatever that she can do to fund her own programs, to fund her own projects as well. You know, we already know that she has backup plans to actually fund her very own reality TV series if no other studio picks it up. We already know that she's trying to get MTV to make a deal to make that happen after her falling out with Amazon. And she's also trying to strike a deal with Disney, the Walt Disney Company. She's trying to get something with them. Not a reality show, but something very different. Now, interestingly enough, with the Meghan Markle drama only getting worse, especially after her viral video post on Instagram, that created a whole new wave of backlash. One major development going on now involves more to do with the Meghan Markle firings, which recently just got worse after her pregnancy video went viral across social media. Now, one crucial update to this entire situation now involves more to do with the fact that both Greg Peters and Ted Sarandos came to an agreement to make a swift move by firing more hand-picked members of Meghan Markle's team. Not only was her entire marketing team fired just weeks ago, but now Netflix decided to fire Meghan Markle and her entire hand-picked editing team as a form of taking action against her after refusing to delete her pregnancy video. Not only did Netflix fire her entire editing team and are now hiring a new one, but also they decided to lay off a handful of artists that Meghan Markle specifically handpicked as well, when she held full creative power over the show. This was all made fully aware to Meghan during their most recent emergency meeting, where Meghan got very defensive and was fuming over the fact that even Ted Sarandos agreed to make this call. It turns out that Ted is trying to protect his image as CEO to a certain degree to save his image after overly supporting Meghan Markle left and right on key decision points. Now, to make matters worse for Markle is that even after the firings took place, both Ted and Greg are now eyeballing specific producers and executives to fire that were hired specifically and previously due to Meghan Markle. This entire creative change-up is said to be nothing more than damage control internally at Netflix and for the public eye, and to improve their image once season 2, of course, of With Love Meghan drops. Greg Peters is also now in the midst of desperately attempting to convince Ted and the board of directors to change the title from season 2 to season 1 part 2 to be more truthful to their audience. However, Ted Sarandos believes that this will be a bad, of course, situation and will decrease viewership. Now, essentially, Ted wants to actually trick the audience, still to this very day, that her series got renewed for a new season. Markle is already labeling the Netflix higher-ups as incompetent and traitors, and warned that she would be willing to take some form of legal action against them in the near future. Now, guys, let me say one thing about that. We obviously know that Meghan Markle is in a very, rough spot right now for herself. I'm not rooting for her by any means. I'm just saying that's how she actually feels right now. She's in a very delicate position. She's beginning to realize that those like Ted Sarandos, those board of directors as well, that once heavily supported her, that were ride or die supporters, are beginning to really turn their emotions toward Greg Peters, one of the other CEOs. And again, we know there's a lot of things going on here for With Love Meghan Season 2. Reshoots are happening in just around 2 to 3 days, and it's going to be quite interesting about what happens once they wrap up filming and what the new editing team is going to do, not just with the show, but also with the upcoming, of course, trailers, with the new marketing team that they're about to hire. I don't think it's going to improve anything. I don't think it's going to help anything at all with this show. they can try everything that they want to try. It's really not going to work. This is nothing more than survival mode. It is damage control mode. They're just going to do whatever they have to do to make whatever work, and to make it at least a little bit better, a little bit more, you know, easier to deal with, to actually have this thing on board of their platform. Now again, they're still eyeing to get this thing out there by late August, maybe early September at the latest, but regardless, they're labeling this series as something that will debut in the fall. Now, to move forward, emotions also got more intense after Meghan Markle had a moment of outrage where she screamed at CEO Greg Peters for convincing Ted Sarandos and some members of the board to fire the entire editing team for season 2. Now, along with the many artists as well, this is all a result of Meghan's viral video as Netflix tries to do whatever they can to improve themselves while Meghan is still under a very complex and expensive contract. And that's another thing to bring up, guys, is that her contract, it's very expensive, very complex, and that's exactly why they're just doing whatever they have to do to actually kind of disconnect themselves from any of Meghan Markle's loyalists, or those that actually were hired specifically by Meghan Markle and handpicked by her back when she held all that creative power, just like a month or two ago. And when she lost that, look, that's when things really began to actually settle in, where Netflix said, maybe we should make some changes here. But everything, of course, to do with that viral video post, that was a deal breaker for them. And that really allowed Netflix to take a stand, to take a step forward and say, let's make some changes like right now. So, to end things off, alright, now Meghan is still to this day trying to convince Ted to renew her contract deal and to shoot for a season 3 of With Love, Meghan in the meantime, and for a contract renewal entirely. Again, I don't really know why Netflix would want to do a contract renewal with somebody so damaging, somebody so toxic, that not only drives away subscribers, but it also tarnishes your image. I would be shocked if they actually did double down and renewed her contract for another X amount of years, and, you know, if they gave her another $100,000 deal. That would be insane. It would be ludicrous. It would absolutely be something that would drive Netflix into the ground. There's no doubt about that. Now look, she believes that Ted Sarandos is still on her side, and he is to a certain extent. But whatever he's doing right now by siding with Greg Peters for these firings, it's nothing more than a way to save at least a part of his image. He's also in desperation mode as well right now because he knows he's under fire, he knows he's in the hot seat, he knows he is the one to blame for all the chaos happening right now over at Netflix. And that's why he's taking a lot of heat from the executives, the producers, and many of those that just want Meghan Markle out. And they want to move on from this With Love, Meghan nonsense, right? Because they did find her, you know, engaging in a lot of roles of plagiarism, copying other shows like, you know, Pamela's Cooking with Love and Hell's Kitchen and all these different cooking shows, etc., Rachel Ray. A lot of them out there. But overall, I would love to hear what everyone has to say about the Meghan Markle firings and the pregnancy video, which is still on Instagram, regardless of multiple studios pushing for her to take it down or else. And, well, she's dealing with the consequences now, and that's exactly what happened. So overall, I would love to hear what everyone has to say about the whole Netflix fiasco, including Meghan Markle. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.